Hi students. In this video, we'll look at how writers of literacy narratives write from inside the moments of their stories to make their writing more powerful and more successful. Here are a couple of reasons why writing inside the moment can improve your writing. The first is that it allows you to elaborate on major points in your narrative, highlighting what's important and showing your reader that by spending time digging into those moments. It also gives your reader descriptive details. This causes your reader to be engaged with your text. Incorporating key dialogue, internal thoughts, etc. allows the reader to see the moment through your eyes and get a better picture of the message you're trying to send. And then finally, it allows you to emphasize key reflective moments in your narrative so that readers understand your focus and your purpose more clearly. Let's take a look at a student who submitted a draft of their assignment that needed work in this category. Pause your video and take a couple minutes to read through the blue example. Now that you've read the blue example, I'm going to show you the student's revised work after receiving feedback that their work needed to be revised in order to write from inside the moment of the story. Take a couple minutes to read the black example of the revised work, and then we'll talk about the differences between the two pieces. Pause your video and come back when you're ready. Okay, students, you've probably noticed some big differences between the two examples. Let's look specifically at how the first lines of each example start to show us the stark differences in the voice of the narrative. In the blue example, the rough draft, at the age of 17, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorders. We see this student writing from a distant perspective, almost from an observer, looking from their present life back into the past. This is not writing from inside the moment. Let's now look and compare that sentence with their revised sentence. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 17 years old, sitting in the doctor's office, waiting for my diagnosis. As the words, "you have an anxiety and depression disorder," rolled off my doctor's tongue, I froze. Do you see the difference? In this example, in this revised work, the student has specifically tried to write from inside the moment of the story. And in return, the student has a reader who's far more engaged with their text, and a reader who's understanding the descriptive details of how the anxiety depression disorder news impacted them. The words "I froze," for example, are much stronger than in the paragraph above when she says things like spaz out, disliked the thought. Those are so distant and not as direct and engaging as "I froze." Now you'll notice at the bottom, I put a comment. The student goes on to explain how reading played an important role in coping with this disorder. If you're watching this video after watching our previous video talking about how to make sure to focus on literacy within your literacy narrative, you may be asking, there's no literacy in this narrative. This paragraph was part of the introduction of an essay, which the student decided to set up the stress and anxiety related to getting the news of these disorders, and then introduce how reading played an important role in her coping and dealing with this experience. After watching this video, I hope you now go back to your writing and ask yourself, am I writing from inside the moment? And if not, use the examples presented in the video here to revise your work.